if you look in the mirror and don't like what you see, then this will interest you. So are you good enough? And how can that be your undoing? How can that just tear you apart? Hi, I'm Will Perry, and I help make the complex psychological concepts simple. But it's more than understanding. We need to put them into action. It's so important. Most people miss that. I'm not clinically trained, but I've been an executive coach since 2001. I worked at the BBC there, and I was head of action learning, which is a group coaching process, which I love. But for the last 13 years, I've been focused on this one thing. Why do we get stuck so much? And what's it got to do with that shadow side? So how I help people, literally one-to-one, 90-day program, which is awesome. One to a few on the action learning groups, or one to many on the online program. But there's so much here for free. A free program, free content. Find out more, get involved. Links are around here, subscribe. But here is the video of the day. The video of the day is me going, it's me. Today's video, the colour's different, isn't it? Am I useless? God, the amount of times I've thought that about myself, it's shocking. The amount of decisions that's made for me has steered me in negative decisions. So this is me. Hello, me. Thinking, oh God, am I useless? Again, here's another example of where I've been useless. Just the context for this for me. And as you're watching this, think what's your word? What's the word that you say to yourself? A lot, it should be really familiar to you, but not to others. I'm useless. Or if you said it to others, they go, "Oh no, you're not. You're amazing." Yeah, la 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 la. For me, it's I'm useless. For you, it might be I'm not worthy. I'm not lovable. I'm ugly. I'm fat. I'm disgusting. I'm not good enough. Whatever it is. That word, that phrase. Think of that. So this was me in my situation in my third marriage. I wasn't making enough money, so the money was an issue. I was kind of being a house husband, but then the income started to drop, so it's like pressure on me, and it's like, okay, this thing that I've been working on, my business, it's like, so it's like I need it to work. Pressure, and it's pressures. Financial pressure is a difficult thing. So we had our two beautiful girls there. The two stepkids, my kids. So how many is that? That's a lot of kids, isn't it? So there's the pressure. Oh God, these bloody things as well. We have pugs, which is a lovely idea, but they ran amok, and since then I've seen programs. Caesar is a famous one in America. Go and search it online. And I see it when I do a part-time job, and I see it going to people's houses or whatever. They barking dogs, crazy dogs. You shut them and they fight with them, getting them out of the way. Then, oh God, bloody dog. I had 4 of them. We had 4 pugs, and they were gorgeous, lovely things and characters, but we didn't know how to control them. And they just run amok, poo wee, and it's just. But the stress, the barking, the freneticness, and it's just the stress of the environment. But ultimately, the biggest stress was me feeling I was useless, me going up to myself, into my darkest area, my shadow side, if you like, going, I'm useless. I was absolutely stressed, and though I didn't recognise how stressed I was desperate to be something that I didn't feel I was. I felt I was useless. I was desperate to be, successful, to be the provider, to be the dad I wanted to be not stressed, to be, out of this situation where it's just difficult. And I was here in my, third failing marriage, and I knew it was failing and falling apart, and that was just compounding this whole feeling of desperation, and at the center of it for me, it was useless. I felt completely useless, and that's obviously not a nice emotion. What's yours? If you're watching this thinking, what's yours? Are you clear on what yours is? Because you need to be open enough to see your call it shadow side, but I've phrased it the mother of all beliefs. So I did a shadow there. So this shadow side, which is talked about in psychology a lot, this is actually where we hold our positive resources often. Sources, But we don't think they're positive. We fear them. Um, we fear. I can't do two things at once. So we actually fear the shadow side because it's like, oh, I'm useless. That's where that is. Useless. Useless. That's the shadow side. So I got to block it out because I don't know how to deal with it. I don't understand it. But actually understanding them, working through the shadow side actually comes out, and that's where we get the access to the resources that are within their shadow side. It might sound a bit strange, but for me, I called it the this is what I did it in the last video, the mother of all beliefs. This is like the cancer that just grows. It's the negative beliefs that get hold in our brain, and then just grow, because that's at the core of it. Those beliefs are so solid and so negative that they impact the decisions. We have this sensitivity to negative emotions about ourselves, but also might portray into the world. It spills out from this center, which is, I've coined the phrase, this mother of all beliefs. And it just grows and grows and compounds and becomes more solid and sure, and over all your lifetime. So you've learned this stuff, you've believed it stuff, you've got evidence about this stuff that this is true. So this is my useless. and this is where it's grown, and it's grown like a cancer in my brain. It just I mean, look at the situation. Third marriage, it's like, what's going to change? I can understand why people commit suicide, not because I've had those dark thoughts, but that dark thoughts are, I've heard it explained this way as well. Dark thoughts are when your brain can't come up with a solution, it comes up with dark ones. It's like, well, that's going to solve it, and I've, again, never been suicidal, but I can understand when you have no further options that you can come up with. What does the brain come up with? Because it has to come up with something. It has to come up with an option. Again, one of the fascinating TED Talks. If there's a bit of misinformation, a bit of something that doesn't quite make sense, your brain will fill the gaps for you. You can't have gaps in information. So your brain, if you can't actually remember something, or actually you didn't see something, but you think you did, then the brain will actually come up with that, insert that image, create that image, and then you go, yeah, I can remember it. It was da-da-da-da, and you're actually seeing the real memory, except it's not a real memory. It's a created by your brain. The brain is a crazy, amazing thing. So do you think it can't do this? And that it runs you every day. It's like your operating system. Do you think it can't do that? Or do you know that it's doing that? What's your word? Mine's useless. And it's like running me every day. And look, third time round. So with time, does it go away? No, it compounds. It gets worse. Third marriage, Jesus. Often I hear people say, sorry to go up and down, am I making you seasick? Anyway, people talk about their motivation. Oh, my kids are my motivation. I say it like that. God, I mean, I love my kids to death. I die for them, but did that change my uselessness? No. Was that uselessness, teeth, real? No. Did I believe it was real? Yes. It's so difficult, this stuff. It's so difficult. Well, I've got profile. The profile's personality profile that I've only really discovered in the last year has been so useful for helping me understand some of this structure about myself, my personality. Whereas I've done MBTI before, but MBTI didn't offer that much, and I don't use it anymore. It's incredible. I've done the training on the profile, and I've also, it was a real eye-opener for me. In terms of mapping kind of who I am, in terms of my strengths and my weaknesses, but also where I differ from that, because I've, that my uselessness has withered me down. And it's fascinating to be able to go, just a minute, if my uselessness isn't real, which it isn't, so if that isn't real, then I can, it's like fascinating. So you've got a real structure that you can follow, the real you, if you like, and you can work on very specific things and traits within yourself. So I find it useful, and I've used it with my group on the pathway, and it's really been the real linchpin to moving forward and taking action. And again, I kept this bit in because it was taking action is absolutely key. And I know that sounds so, it's like, yeah, take action, yeah. But I always liked it on the beginning of my program. There's a picture of getting dressed. Somebody sitting on a bed reading a book about getting dressed, and of course that doesn't get you dressed. Reading it doesn't mean you become dressed. You have to get out of bed and get dressed. Now, it's a really nice analogy. So what do you have to do in order to change this stuff? What do you have to do? What actions is it? And for me, the Wim Hof, and if you don't know Wim Hof, go search it, or ask me. I've got tons of videos that I've found on YouTube and the app, and but you can go and find out yourself. Wim Hof method has been scientifically proven to stimulate your immune system, so that's a really cool thing at this time. But also, it does different things to your head. It activates and reconnects your mind with your physical body. And that's where we're so disconnected often. If you look at me up here, am I connected? Am I engaged? Am I vital? No, I'm being run by the cancer in my head that tells me I'm useless. That's not a way to live. So what's your word? What's your word? Tell me. I'd really love to know what your word is, because I've done this so many times. It comes down to a few core words. It's really interesting. So taking action, having a cold shower every day, a 2 minute, 2 minute, isn't the nicest thing, but guess what? It connects your brain to say, I am not useless. Look at me. I can actively overcome myself and stand under cold water for 2 minutes of a morning. Woohoo! But it actually improves your immune system, and that is a good thing, and that's for free. But it's connecting your brain with your body, and that's what we're missing. We're too disconnected, and there's all sorts of stuff that you can find out about that. Oh, but it's not just this chap here, the breathing exercise. That's meant to kind of be breathing. It's a specific breathing, and again, you can look at it on Wim Hof, but maybe a series of 15 or 20 or 25 breathing, and then holding your breath. And it's fascinating to see how long you hold your breath for. I've done it for 4 minutes, holding my breath, and I would have thought, that's deep free divers territory for me. Normal is more around sort of 2.5, and it's really interesting. If I don't do it for a few days, then it's like, oh yeah, it's really low. But whatever it is, it's a lovely kind of meditative thing to do. So it's both physical and in your head and in your body. So it's connecting the two, the physical and the other. So exercise is really good as well. So it's connecting us. Connecting us is so important. Taking action, and this, a shower and the breathing is taking action. So is exercise. You might know that I've talked about it a lot, shown it even. That I've got a pull-up bar, and I did that. Bought it as a thing. It's like, yeah, I want to do that, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to invest in me, and I'm going to do it consistently, and I'm consistent on that, and it's made me the strongest, the fittest that I've been for many years, and I love that aspect. And it's about having the consistency to do it, because you're overcoming and taking action on yourself on a daily basis. That's why I started up the emails. I tried it before. I could never be consistent, because guess what was ruling me? It's the cancer in my head. It's like, you're going to be useless. No point. You might as well give up. You'll mess up. See, you messed up. Might as well give up. You can never make anything. All that chatter comes from this central bit, this mother of all beliefs. And for me, it was useless. What is it for you? So taking action is so important. It's not just the thing of, oh, I should, I will, I'm definitely going to. It's taking action. And then you get this wonderful thing of evidence. So in exercise, what evidence do you get? Your body changing. And it takes a while. It takes a while, doesn't it? It takes time. But your body changes. You start noticing it. You go, oh, holy moly, this is working. If you take more protein, balancing out, follow the protein balance thing, and again, ask me for details on that if you want. Then you can notice that your fat reduces. Then you can, it's good stuff. When you don't get the balance quite right, you notice going a little bit more, and it's like, oh, isn't that interesting? I'm in control, whereas I didn't feel that level of control before. And that is such a key thing. It's all about control that you've never had before. By taking action. But what's going to stop you taking action? It's your mother of all beliefs. So what do you need to do? You need to recognize this in your situation. You need to be open enough to see the shadow side. And that's the thing that that's really uncomfortable. We choose not to see. So more resources await you from that shadow side, but we see it as a negative and as a fear. But it's wrapped up in that. But if you unwrap it within that, the resources that are there for us that make us more whole, actually, and it's a fantastic thing. So by exploring what you're avoiding, you can unwrap and discover this gift gets hidden within our shadow side, but it doesn't seem like that. And when I wrap it up in the language of mother-all beliefs, that's like that's might be a bit scary. What's yours? What's yours? What's yours? Mine was I'm useless. So I hope me sharing this is interesting to you. My invitation to you is that you find a structure, find a person, somebody that you relate to, that resonates on this level, the shadow side, whatever it is, whatever language they use, that's going to help you really unwrap this stuff and tackle the stuff that you're avoiding, because you know what it's doing to you, and that it's only going to get worse. So please don't avoid it. Find a process that helps you on this journey, but do not avoid it. Do not go la la la, because does that make it go away? La la la. Sorry, I can't. Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it go away. So please don't ignore this stuff. I hope you find that interesting. Do get in contact. Do I was going to say enroll. Do explore, follow the link, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I hope to see you very soon. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.